You know, sometimes our last reveal at the Game Awards is a teaser for something years and years away. But not tonight.
Whoa. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
Our final world premiere comes from 61 members of the team that built Apex Legends and Titanfall.
No. Wait.
4 years ago, the principals founded a new independent studio with the hopes of pushing the shooter genre forward with a new original game.
Oh, no.
Welcome to Highguard.
I fight to the end. Here we go.
Not cool. Not fucking cool. You have no fucking idea how not fucking cool that shit is.
All right, man. Another year has gone by and another Game Awards has came and went. And the verdict is ass. Once again, the Game Awards was a complete waste of time. You get 2 hours and 50 minutes of straight dog shit, and you might get maybe 10 minutes of stuff you're kind of interested in. Now, there was some cool games at the Game Awards this year, but basically zero gameplay for any of the cool games like Divinity or the new Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic game that seems to be like the big favorite coming out of the Game Awards. We got zero gameplay, and these games are probably not coming out for a while. At least that's the case with the Star Wars game. And that's another issue with the Game Awards. I feel like the games that are shown there are never in a state where they're actually ready to be released. If they're like a big title, they're always like 3 years down the line. And no gameplay, and the hype is not there really at all. For me, even, I'm a Star Wars fan. I didn't really give a fuck. I was like, okay, I guess we just saw a cinematic trailer. And then the statue ended up being Divinity by Larian Studios. Now, I'm just not a big fan of like that top-down RPG style game, so I couldn't care less, to be honest. I know a lot of people do like those games, and fair enough if that's what you're into. I'm sure you thought that was a crazy announcement. You know, Resident Evil looked really good. I'm probably gonna play that. Obviously, we got Leon Kennedy back. It's probably gonna be a fucking sick game. But like I said, it's like 10 minutes out of 2 hours and 50 minutes of straight ass. And I just think there has to be some sort of change. I don't know why the show has to be that long. They should 100% cut it down to like 2 hours. And it's not even really 3 hours. Like, I joined thinking that the show was starting at 7:30, and then it didn't start till like 8 o'clock. I was just like, okay, why does it say 7:30 if it's starting at 8? I don't know. There's a lot of things wrong with it. You know, we see the Muppets are on your screen for like 30 fucking minutes. I don't know what Jeff Keighley's obsession is with the Muppets. Maybe he has like some unresolved childhood coping going on, and he's just obsessed with the Muppets. I think he wants to fuck Miss Piggy, bro. I don't know what it is, but it's just weird as hell. And like, he's posting pictures of Miss Piggy after. There's something weird going on, dude. There's something weird going on, and I don't know who's gonna get to the bottom of it, but it will happen at some point. But anyway, the Game Awards, dude, it's just, once again, it's a popularity contest. It doesn't really have anything to do with the actual games on display. You know, I've seen there's a lot of controversy with how many awards Clair Obscur Expedition 33 won. And for the most part, I think it deserved the awards that it won. I didn't even play the game, but just based on general opinion, people I know that played, it was a fantastic game, and I really don't have many complaints, but I do think there's an issue with the category system. I think the category system makes no fucking sense. They have Clair Obscur Expedition 33 as the best RPG, and it won in a category that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was also in. Now, I've played KCD 2. It's probably my favorite game of the year. Probably one of my favorite games in the last decade, to be honest. It's that good, and it is a straight-up RPG to its core. It is literally the definition of what an RPG is. And from what I understand, Expedition 33 is not that. It's a lot more of a JRPG with kind of a lot of scaled back RPG mechanics that don't really have an effect on the story and the gameplay too much. So why is it winning that award? Like, I feel like the gaming journalists or whoever votes for these awards kind of just goes with the flow, and they go, whatever's the most popular. People think Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is the most popular. We're going to vote for it in every fucking category it shows up in, even if it might not necessarily deserve that award. And that's exactly what you see. And that's not to mention that 99% of the awards literally mean nothing. I feel like except for maybe like 3 or 4 categories, you can pretty much do away with fucking 95% of the awards. Because for the most part, Jeff just lists the games and then immediately announces the winner and they move on to the next award. Where is, the actual achievement in that? Like, I feel like it's nothing breathes. Half of the people, it feels like he just doesn't even care about most of these awards. He's just there to, hear himself talk. And look, I get it. Jeff's probably a pretty nice guy in real life. I don't have anything bad to say about him personally. I just feel like he loves hearing himself talk, and it's just a popularity contest, and him, wafting for like so long. Like every announcement, he's going to say something like, this was just, I have such an honor to announce this game, this world premiere. It's been worked on for this long by people that are super high up in the business that I respect tremendously. And then it's like a side scroller Mega Man that no one fucking cares about. It's like, I feel like there should really be a scaling back of this show, especially in terms of the time period, so that the games that are cool actually get their time and are more embraced. Because right now it just feels like you're just watching a slideshow and you miss half of it because there's so much slop in between. And another thing that's just starting to piss me off about games in general, and I know this is kind of turning into a rant, which is pretty much what this is, but every game looks the fucking exact same. It's all Japanese style, anime character-esque with black goo and Dark Souls style combat over and over and over and over. And it's come to the point where even if one of them looks cool, I just don't even want to play it anymore because every other game looks the exact same as it. And it's like, which one do I get? I'd rather just get none of them and play none of them. I'll wait for an actual FromSoft game if I'm going to play a FromSoft style game. Now, this is just a huge issue, and I haven't even talked about the funniest part of the show, which is how they ended it. Jeff goes on this long spiel about how this is like such a, an earth-shattering game, and it's going to be, revolutionary. And he goes on this like monologue about the game, and it ends up being a fucking hero shooter free-to-play game. That's the show closer. That was the end of the show. I watched that, and I was like, me and my buddies were watching it, and afterwards I was like, no, he's got to come out with like and one last thing type shtick that they always do at these game events, and it just didn't happen. And then I went to Twitter after, and I just saw everyone flaming it, and rightfully so. Like, what the hell was Jeff thinking with that? How much did he get paid to show that off? Because not only was it just a free-to-play hero shooter, it genuinely looked like ass. It looked like shit. I'm 100% not playing it. I don't even care that it's free. I think majority of people saw that and it was just another, Concord slop. Like, I saw this meme and it was just like, somehow Concord has returned. Like fucking Poe Dameron from Star Wars, and it just encapsulated that feeling perfectly. Like, what are they doing? I don't understand this at all. And I wish people just cared more about like the actual product being given. I don't need to see an orchestra. Like, this isn't the Oscars. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why do I need to see an orchestra for a trailer for a game like 2 people are probably going to play? It was just honestly a mess of a show, and people were trying to say that this is like one of the better game awards, and I was like, if this is one of the better game awards, dude, I don't even want to remember what the other ones were because it was straight trash. I wasted 3 hours of my life. I could have been doing something more productive. And now, despite all that, there are still just the biggest fucking retards of all time when you open up Twitter talking about, these games should have their time to shine. You should only have a maximum amount of how many wins a single game could get. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? If a game is that good, it should get the awards. I don't know what kind of bullshit these people are smoking, but the Game Awards just creates this type of shit where it's just like a fucking toxic cesspool of just chronically online losers arguing at each other about which game should have won this, which game should have won that, and this is unfair and that's unfair. It's like, dude, these awards don't fucking matter. Who cares? It literally doesn't matter. The game sales are what matters. Who cares about the awards? No one watches this shit anyway except gamers. So, like, it's not like there's some global appeal for the most part. I just think it's really funny that people put this much stock in the Game Awards, and every year it just ends up being a complete waste of time that didn't matter at all towards the next year and the year that just passed. It's pretty much pointless. Anyway, yeah, the Game Awards this year was another load of ass, and it's probably going to be the same thing next year. There wasn't a lot of crazy announcements, nothing that really blew your head off or blew your socks off. There was a lot of ass, there was a lot of shit, that's for sure. A lot of shit. But, you know, that's just what comes with the Game Awards every fucking year. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Peace.